Tonight, from the end zone to the fan zone and all seats in between, this is your home for the local sporting update, featuring the voice of the Bradford High School Tornadoes. Welcome to On the Spot Sport News with your host, David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, alongside Mitchell Gunner, who will be here in just a second, and filling in for Mr. Byron Bagwell, Michael, the Dragon Slayer Heater, our director. Say hello, Mike.
Good evening, folks. Glad to have you aboard.
Great to have you along. Tonight's show is brought to you by Miracle Automotive and Recovery in both Stark and McClenny. Call Kirk and Kitty Miracle at 904-368-1114. Miracle Automotive, where miracles happen every day. Let's get the show started as we always do, ladies and gentlemen, with our prayer, our pledge, and our sports quote of the week, which the Dragon Slayer has. He's going to try to see if he can buffalo me again.
We're going to try.
Man, I tell you what, last week had no clue what the one Byron had, but we'll see if I do any better this week.
We'll give it a try.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's on, please bow your heads and let us pray. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we're able to spend with our On the Spot family, dear Lord. Keep your hedge of protection over Byron as he is out doing his job and his work, and that he gets back home safely, dear Lord. Thank you for the week that you've given us. Thank you again for this allotted time for us to be able to come together as brothers and give the information that we have to our viewers, and our viewers deciding what they need to do with it, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, the most powerful, the most freest country in the world, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live here. The red, white, and blue lives forever. Thank you for our armed forces, our past and present, dear Lord, the ones that gave the ultimate sacrifice, the men and women that gave their lives for this country. Keep a hedge of protection over all of our armed forces that they're out there fighting against domestic and international terrorism and the other things, dear Lord, to keep us safe as a country. Thank you for our first responders and anybody within the Homeland Security Department, dear Lord. Keep a hedge of protection over those men and women that are out there doing the diligent work and making sure that we can sleep at night knowing that we're safe from any kind of enemy. Thank you for our farmers. Thank you for our truck drivers. Thank you for everybody that keeps the front line of America going, dear Lord. Thank you, and keep blessing them. Anybody with a spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, please touch each and every one of them. Anyone that's sick with this COVID, dear Lord, anybody that's sick with the flu, anybody that has any ailments, put your hand on them and touch them and heal them again, dear Lord. Bless the food that we receive each and every day as it goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Again, thank you for this time. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this great weekend we got coming. And thank you for letting us have this show. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen. All right. Let us stand here for the pledge. Michael Heater, how about it, brother? Will you lead us in?
I'd be happy to.
All right.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. All right. Here he is. Joining us now is the guy himself, David Cassidy lookalike, also Kevin Costner lookalike. Really? Some woman told me to say that for you.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
I thought it kind of looked like more like Kevin Bacon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you eat a lot of bacon. I can see that.
Here lately I have.
Yeah, I know you have. Here he is, Mitchell Gunner. What do you have for us there, Michael, as far as a sports quote of the
All right,
week?
so I got a little quote for you here, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do it like that one.
All right.
The quote is, never say never, because limits, just like fear, is often an illusion. Never say never, because fear, because limits, like fear, is often an illusion.
Bear Bryant.
Good guess.
Dave, you got a guess? He says no. He's working the controls.
He's working the controls.
You want to guess?
Thought about him.
Oh, that's another.
That's
good
a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Never. Sounds like a coach to me. God. man, y'all got two good ones. He didn't say if y'all were right or wrong. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to go a player. I'm going to say that sounds something like Michael Jordan would say. Anybody else got a guess here? I'm going to say it's Michael Jordan. That's just something that he would press to his players. I don't know. I'm probably wrong.
Ding, 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 ding. Michael Jordan, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
And
I'm off the skid.
yeah, and the star of the real Space Jam movie, not that
Oh,
horrific.
God. What a piece of garbage that is.
I think Michael Jordan got that from Bear Bryant.
Yeah, I think maybe he did. That's a good one, Mitchell. Yeah, he did.
We'll go with that.
You know, my question, and I'm sorry, I know you had a lot going on. One of my trivia questions was 2021 movies, and I used that as one of my trivia questions.
Yeah.
And you should have heard, well, I had 5 to 6 teams there last night, and they were saying, no. It's Michael Jordan, what you just said, is the real guy.
The real deal. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so, all right. Hey, give a shout out to Slice and Dice, Chris Davis and Casey Napier over in Lottie, Florida, right over there beside the old Lottie supermarket, which is now a liquor store. Anyway, they've got a great place. They've got great food. They've got great specials. Mike, tell them about it.
Hey, let me tell you what. I mean, it's an amazing day. They've got the barbecue burrito. You know, the rib plate is amazing. But I have discovered my new favorite. I brag about the burgers.
Mm-hmm.
They have the best burgers anywhere.
They do.
They have now taken it to the next level. They have burgers served on garlic toast.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Had lunch there on Thursday. I'm telling you what, and everything on the menu is so good. It's always hard to pick something, but man, I'm gonna be hard pressed to pick something other than the garlic toast burgers.
Oh, I'm gonna have to have that tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I've got to go do some lawns tomorrow. I may have lunch there tomorrow, Mitchell. That absolutely sounded really good. But please go and visit those guys. They'd love to have you. Great atmosphere, Mike, in there. Great wait staff, great cook staff. Chris and Casey will take care of all your needs. Please go visit our great friends, Slice and Dice Barbecue.
And something else I want to mention too, we've talked about this in the past, is, you know, Chris Davis and company, they do so well with supporting the community. I know we harp on this on a regular basis, but it bears repeating. Several months ago, we had a horrendous, massive fire that broke out at the Economy Inn in Lottie. And Chris Davis and company stepped up, served food to the people that had been evacuated and had to be sheltered, provided food and drinks to the firefighters, law enforcement officers, the people that were there. They were there for hours and hours, and you turned around and for everywhere you saw firefighters dragging fire hose or law enforcement out securing the scene, bomb squad working like that, turn over towards the side a little bit like that, there's Chris Davis and his company making sure that, you know, that Slice and Dice is there to take care of them. It was really fulfilling from my perspective to see the community step up the way that Chris does.
Yeah, and Chris stepped up, like you said, and we want you to now step up for Chris and his business over there at Slice and Dice. Please go over there and visit. You will have a great time over there. Very friendly staff, like I said, and great food. Man, I've got to try that hamburger.
It is really good.
So please go visit Slice and Dice. All right. Hey, don't go anywhere, because the Friday Night Quick and Dirty starts after this commercial break.
That's right.
Here is your quick and dirty news update, sponsored by Harry Business Hairstyling, home of the $10 haircut, Deerfoot Village in Stark.
All right, here's the quick and dirty for this Friday night. We begin tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in Putnam County, where a Melrose man is under arrest on charges filed in Levy County. Mitchell Hammond, any relation, is charged with sexually abusing 3 children. No, I know he's not.
That's right.
Putnam County detective says that the abuse happened for years, involving 2 children under the age of 12 and 1 under the age of 16. Hammond is being held on a $2.5 million bond, which is not enough in Putnam County, as he awaits transfer to Levy County. Michael, I'm sorry, got to get on my soapbox. And Mitchell, this is one thing here that I cannot stand. I can deal with some other stuff. You know what I mean? This right here absolutely torques me off, and I want to take that guy, and I'm not a violent person, ladies and gentlemen. I want to punch him right in the face.
You know, because,
I'd love to give him what he's given those children.
because what he's done to these kids, he's ruined these kids' lives
Yes, he has.
forever, all the way into their adult age. It is very hard for a child to get over something like that, and that affects their relationships down the road. You know, and trying to have a marriage and trying to have children.
Great point, Mitchell.
You know, those things come back into play and really messes them up.
Yeah, and
You
it's
wanna pipe in on that,
well,
man?
and it's unfortunate too because this isn't the only story dealing with that one. Breaking news coming out of Jacksonville, where this afternoon a Jacksonville firefighter has been arrested for soliciting a 14-year-old child. Charges are pending. It's still very active. This is breaking news coming out of Jacksonville. We'll have more on that as we go along as well, but it's not just limited to these areas. And this is a great opportunity to remind parents, don't always believe everything that you hear. Always be suspicious. In this world of social media and videos and TikTok and everything like that one, it is very easy for these offenders and predators to reach out to kids. Make sure you stay on top of it.
Mike, let me ask you guys something here, and we're going to keep going with the story. It's got a lot of an action-packed show filled tonight with a special guest that we'll be introduced in a minute. But I want to ask you guys something. You know, with social media and everything out there, do you think that's driving this a little bit more, Mike and Mitchell? Do you think being able to contact these kids like really personal has a lot to do with the quantity of these things that we're seeing?
I believe so. Mitchell, and chime in on this one as well, but and it's a two-edged sword because while you do see a lot more of the social media playing into this effect, you also see a lot more arrests where law enforcement pretending to be victims are now nabbing these offenders and these predators. And so we're getting more arrests now than we did previously because of social media. So you look at it as both a good and a bad thing.
Right.
While it's horrendous that social media has allowed this to manifest itself, it's also allowing us to be able to get the long arm of the law out to catch these folks in the act.
Right. And I tell you, when it comes to kids, as a parent, you have to be really involved with your kids. You have to kind of know what they're doing all the time when they get on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, because they are those people that are just sitting there waiting with their fake profile saying that they're a 14-year-old boy or a 13-year-old girl. And matter of fact, that they're both are adults. And not only men do this, but women do it as well.
Good point. Yeah.
And so it goes both ways that way. And you know, you have to try to do it without being overbearing, because you don't want to push your child further away.
Right.
That's all they want to do is to be on social media in their bedroom with the door closed. And you know, so you want to be active in your child's life.
You know, and when a kid comes up to you, I know that you got some false stories, and I get it. But when most kids come up to a parent or to an adult and says, I'm being abused, you can pretty much believe most of the time that is true. Yeah. Children usually do not lie about that.
95% of the time.
95% of the time they're telling the truth. So please, as adults and parents, you know, you want to tend to believe your better half or whoever you're dating or whoever your fiance is or whoever your uncle is. But please pay attention to that kid, because he or she is telling you something that is probably going on. So don't ever be naive about this. I'm telling you right now, it can happen.
You just don't know what kind of person a person is.
Right.
No matter how well you know that person.
True.
Right.
Yep, that's true.
And I tell you, they just arrested just a couple days ago a bunch of guys, and a lot of them worked at Walt Disney World.
Well, you just heard Mike with that breaking news out of Jacksonville. Let's move on, because I'm telling you, we can talk about this subject at some other point, on and on. You're right. Let's go down to Marion County, where Ocala police arrested 3 men as they were burglarizing a vehicle. However, this was not their first time, guys. Right. They have a history of breaking into cars around Central Florida, stealing a total, David, of over $100,000.
Exactly right.
Oh,
Interesting side note on this one. Law enforcement investigations from Hillsborough County, Osceola County, and up into Marion County indicated that the suspects would sit outside of banks watching for people making large withdrawals, holding the cash in their hand, then going to their vehicle and then going shopping or going whatever. They would then target those vehicles after the person got out, which reinforces the fact that the same thing that Sheriff Smith and Bradford County and every other law enforcement agency around here says. If you have valuables in your car, if you have cash in your car, anything like that one, make sure you hide it, secure it, put it somewhere where you don't make yourself so obvious to create a potential victim.
Yeah, you got it exactly right. Great point. So in local news, hundreds of people turned out for a memorial service honoring the legacy of Dr. Pete Giannis. Dr. Pete served as medical director in 8 different counties and colleges around North Florida. Ambulances from, Baker, Putnam, Alachua, Suwannee counties covered Bradford, so all those employees that wanted to attend that memorial service today, which was at Madison Street, right? Baptist
That's
Church,
right. Madison Street Baptist
could. Giannis served the region for nearly 40 years, guys, as a doctor and educator. Yeah. And I want to add something to that, too. Not only was he that, he was a heck of a family man. He was a heck of a person. Anytime that you wanted to reach out and talk to him, he was just about as personal as could be. Yeah. He was just one of those guys, man, that you just like, wow, we lost somebody in this community that was a stand-up citizen.
You could be uptown and say, hey, Dr. Pete, hey, I've got something I want you to look at. You tell me what you think it might be. And Dr. Pete will walk over there and, you need to go see
a doctor.
You got something seriously wrong there. I mean, he was just that type of person. Down to earth with anybody, always wanting to help.
Our very own Michael Heater got to sort of direct this thing today, which is an honor and a pleasure in itself. I know you got to do some speaking. Is that right? Did you do a little speaking or calling of the?
I did. I coordinated the mutual aid, the other ambulances that came into the county. A shout out to Melrose Fire Department, who provided an engine to cover the south end of the county. Of course, the counties that you mentioned provided ambulances.
Absolutely.
Century Ambulance Service provided ambulance coverage as well. So we coordinated that through the communication center at the sheriff's office, so that there was no delay in any response. We had several medical emergencies, several serious calls that happened during this time. And even though every ambulance in Bradford County was out of service because of the service and the funeral, there was never a delay, and even our farthest response wasn't more than just a few minutes, because Suwannee County, Alachua County, Putnam County, everyone who came in immediately was dispatched to calls to make sure that it was covered.
Nice.
And I actually got off of work early this morning, and I can vouch what Michael's saying, because I seen those rescues from other counties, covering for the staff here in Bradford for them to attend that, because I tell you, he was part of that family.
Yes, he was.
That was her family away from home, and excellent job that he done working with our EMTs and getting them ready. And I tell you, Dr. Pete wouldn't cut them loose to work on those ambulances, not unless he knew 100% they were capable of doing the job.
I'll tell you one thing that's even more impressive than that. Dr. Pete Giannis was a medical director in so many counties and in such a wide area for so long. We have cases where Dr. Pete was the medical director who would train paramedics in the field. Fast forward, Dr. Pete would train the children of those paramedics to be paramedics.
That's how long, 40 years. Yeah, absolutely.
So we're talking about generations of pre-hospital care provision from paramedics, EMTs, and then in the hospital, nurses, doctors, practitioners. It's a legacy that will live on for many years to come.
Absolutely. Great man, that Dr. Pete Giannis. God rest his soul and rest in peace. With the reported uptick in COVID-19 cases, Bradford County Sheriff's Office will host the Florida Department of Health's mobile vaccination van behind the courthouse in Stark this weekend. State Health Department employees will be available from 9 to 3 at the Sheriff's Office and from 10 to 3 at the Speedville Fire Station near Keystone Heights. No appointment, ladies and gentlemen, is necessary.
Exactly right.
And finally, the tropics are heating up with the appearance of an area of disturbed weather off the African coast. if you've been following Michael, he's been telling you what's been coming. Here is the Dragon Slayer with the latest, as well as your local forecast.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Hey, good evening, folks. David, you're absolutely right. We've got a large tropical wave with some showers embedded in it a few hundred miles south of the Cape Verde Islands off the African coast. Now, the conditions appear somewhat conducive for development over the next several days. I would not be surprised if we see a tropical depression forming Sunday into Monday as we move forward, as the system moves generally to the west or the west-northwest across the Atlantic Ocean. If it holds together, if it maintains itself, it will probably be about 2 weeks before we have any potential impacts. We're a long way out from that one. Don't get worked up over it, but now's a good time to prepare. You saw what we had to deal with Tropical Storm Elsa. Sure. We could see a repeat of that one as we move through this hurricane season. Right. Hey, let's talk about local, specifically the pollen forecast. This is important because the numbers are really on the increase. I want you to take a look. Starting off at a 3 today, but buddy, it skyrockets as we go through the rest of this week, topping off around 7.5. You're looking at increased difficulties for the allergies.
It's already started, Michael.
It has already started. That's exactly right.
Voice too.
It's going to kick in. Unfortunately, that is just the way it's going to be. And it's one of those deals where even though we're going to see showers and storms every afternoon, we are still going to have an increase in the pollen. It's kind of the worst of both worlds, if you know what I mean here. Regionally, let's take a look at the region, because there's areas around here that are beautiful. This man right here can tell you all about it.
Absolutely.
Check this out, folks. From the Mississippi River to the Atlantic Ocean, the place to be, Pascagoula, Mississippi.
It sounds like
it's
it.
going to be beautiful conditions with a high of 88 degrees. Chance of rain in Atlanta at 88. A little bit of sun in Charlotte at 86. But Florida, once again, showers and thunderstorms through the entire weekend, topping out in the lower 90s. It is what it is. I mean, it's Florida.
I'm not going to get to mow nothing.
Yeah, at this rate, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. Quick check of the local forecast for the next 3 days will tell you straight up. Partly cloudy skies Saturday. You probably could get some mowing in on Saturday.
Maybe.
Don't hold your breath on Sunday, though. Showers and storms return Sunday, going into Monday. Afternoon storms building as we go along. Cool part is temperatures in the upper 80s. We're not going to hit 90 degrees like we've been seeing. And again, temperatures in the lower 70s for morning lows. Humidity is going to be hard to deal with, I know, but hey, could be worse. That is your local forecast from Austin's Weather Service. David, we're going to throw it back over to you.
Thank you, Michael, for that great weather report. And I remember you saying here the last couple of shows, hey, remember those sands and all that stuff off that Sahara Desert that you were talking about? All this, he said it. He told you 2 weeks, almost, about 2 weeks ago?
About a week
a week and a half ago. He told you all that was going to play in. And look what's played. So, again, we'll have another weather update for you after the show. Hey, y'all better stick around because we got a lot still to come with our special guest. You know who that is? Roger the Tornado Cruz. He is the official ball boy of the Tornado football team, has been for a while, and he works over at a restaurant that I'm not going to say right now. I'm going to let him tell where it's at. Yeah. So, and some things that he's been doing. Roger used to be a part of our show, and we like to bring him back from time to time. Yeah. So we've got him tonight for you guys. And now, here's your favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, who I work for on Friday nights as Tornado football will be heating up. We'll be talking about that.
Absolutely.
And the Bradford County Telegraph, John Miller, John Ryan Tillman, Mark Crawford, and of course, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. These are the sports headlines for the Bradford Telegraph during the first week of August in what year?
All
right. Sorry about that.
Go.
I missed the cue. Bradford 10 and under and 12 and under, World Series bound. BMS PE students need uniforms, and BMS volleyball tryouts announced. Was that August of 2016, August of 2018, or August of 2020?
Ooh, I know this one.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
all right.
Hold on a second. Let's back up here so we can give it again. There we go.
There we go. Bradford 10 and under and 12 and under World Series bound. BMS PE students need uniforms, and BMS volleyball tryouts announced. Was that August of 2016, August of 2018, or August of 2020? I'll read the first one. Mike, you read the second one. And Mitchell, you can read the third one. Bradford's 10 and under and 12 and under softball teams each went undefeated in district play, bringing home the District 3 title. They continued to the state tournament with 10 and under placing third and 12 and under placing runner-up to advance to the Babe Ruth World Series.
Very impressive. Hey, students enrolled in physical education classes at Bradford Middle School were told they had to purchase uniforms. Now, the cost was only $10 for one BMS gym t-shirt, and one pair of athletic shorts required for participation.
The Bradford Middle School volleyball tryouts are Monday through Wednesday from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Any girls wanting to try out need to pick up a physical form, form from the doctor rather,
Yes,
and the volleyball packet, which they can pick up at the Bradford Middle School front office.
All right. Now, Bradford 10 and under and 12 and under World Series bound. BMS PE students need uniforms. BMS volleyball tryouts announced. Was that August of 2016, ladies and gentlemen? August of 2018 or August of 2020? I can feel confident. I'm with you, Mitchell. I know this answer right off. As a matter of fact, all three of those categories gave it away, but the softball is what gave it away for me. So here's your chance, ladies and gentlemen, to play, and this is how it goes. So, Michael, what we do is, if they guess it right, you've got a list that you keep up with. If you get it right, we put your name in this hat. At the end of the month, whoever's got, you can have 3, 4, 5, 6 entries, maybe 1, maybe 2. But we pull one of those entries out, and you have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill here in beautiful Star, Florida. Owners Chrissy and Ricky Thompson, great people. And I'll tell you what, hey, you never know. I've seen people win with 3 entries in.
Yeah.
I've seen people win with 1.
That's correct.
So, and we've had, 8 winners, 7 winners, 8 winners already
We've had
now?
8 winners so far. And I will tell you that you don't want to go anywhere, because after our special guest interview tonight, we are pulling for July.
Oh, how about that?
We're bringing out the oversized fire helmet. Yes, I'll be happy to explain that to you.
Yes, please.
And we will be drawing a winner for the month of July. That is coming up after our special guest interview coming up in just a few minutes.
And which is exactly right. So, let me acknowledge while everybody's taking a guess, Jimmy Smith's on, Benny Jackson's on,
Benny.
Ricky Stevens is on. By the way, and I'm going to tell, can I tell where you're going to, Dave, eventually? You'd rather not? Okay. So, we're going to leave that a secret. All right.
Secrets.
We'll leave that a secret, Dave.
I can vouch for that.
I got you.
I can vouch for the fact it is not Iceland.
I can vouch for that, too.
Yeah.
And that because Dave don't like fish.
Yeah, well, that's
I
true.
always
yeah.
wanted to visit Holland.
I bet you did. Yeah. All right. So, Ricky Stevens and Jimmy Smith are going to be on our show Tuesday night, Mike. I meant to
good.
tell you. They are
Excellent.
going to talk about the Barnyard Fantasy Football League.
Yes.
Which they've got an event coming up on August the 28th in downtown Stark.
Yes, they do.
That's going to have some bands, some different things. They're going to explain what's going on. Yeah. They're going to tell the cost. They're going to tell how all this started. And the proceeds that are made for this is going to Shop with a Cop.
That's right.
So anything that they make above and beyond goes to Shop with a Cop. So I'll be glad to have those 2 gentlemen on Tuesday night. Probably bring them in during your segment since it's local stuff, which will be great. We can interview those guys. So that's Jimmy Smith and Rick Stevenson. They are the head of our Barnyard Fantasy Football League. That's the president and the vice president, or the commissioner, as we like to call it, and the co-commissioner.
So those viewers that don't know what Shop with a Cop is.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent point. How about we do this? We'll let Jimmy and Rick do that on Tuesday. Let them have some of the spotlight there. Tom Bailey's on. Vincent Tucker. and Z and Tuck.
Yeah.
They were on last night. I tried to stay up, man. I just couldn't. I stayed on for about 22 minutes and I was out. But sorry about that, Vincent.
That's when you
and,
can catch it on
Z.
Saturday.
You can catch it, yeah, because they're like us. Their show comes right on. Yep. They're out of Phoenix, Arizona. They come on 10:30 our time, 7:30 Pacific. They had a great show last night. A lot of great graphics. They've got a really good thing going on, and I'm really proud of those guys.
Now, can you go to YouTube and view their?
I believe you can. Yeah, I'll see if Vincent says that. I think they are on YouTube, but I know that Facebook definitely is definitely there. And they come on with several little segments during the week and some little things reminding that our show is coming on and this kind of thing there. So we're all taking ideas for each other and putting them together. And let me tell you what, they've got a great product too. So Z and Tuck, you can catch them on Thursday nights, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, and you can catch a replay as you can ours. All right, Will Smith is on. Will Smith, I know he wants to hear about this.
Yes.
Bradford Tornado football. I'm sorry, Bradford Tornado football right here. We're going to be talking about that. When we bring our special guest on, do you mind doing me a favor, sir?
I can.
Can you bring up the Tornado football schedule for this year for me?
Amazingly enough, I can probably do that.
You're a great man.
I will do that.
Z Zamaya, the host of that show, along with Vincent Tucker. Tammy Testone is on. And Albie sends his love. Well, guess what? We're about to send it back.
There you go.
1, 2, 3. Hello, Albie! Brandy Gallion-Smith is on. Sharon Pettiprin, the model. Good evening to you, ma'am.
There you go.
Dwight Allen, the Patriot. He's on. He says, good evening, fellow Patriots.
Good evening, sir.
Raymond Noah's on. Sharon Pettiprin says hello to Albie. Chris Davis, what's up, fellas? Thank y'all. We try our best to serve the best food possible. Hope to see everyone soon. Good seeing you yesterday, Michael. Sorry I wasn't there long, just banged up right now. But thank you for the support. As always, Chris, definitely.
Absolutely.
We got your back on this one for sure. Austin's Weather Service chiming in.
Yep.
What an interesting time for me to tune in. I wonder what he wants to tune in about.
Probably wants to give us an update on the tropics.
Maybe.
He might.
So we'll see. Trent Bryant's on. David W. Barr. Here's Buddy Raj. Brad and Donna Sue Hildreth is on. Bonnie Stevens is on. Hello, Bonnie. Robert Griffiths is on. Noah Gibson's on. Renee Stegall Shaw from Pascagoula, Mississippi. I'll be seeing you about a month and a half for that reunion. She says, we've been sweltering over here. And then she put hashtag too much rain. Yeah, it's over here now.
You've had a lot.
You had a lot of rain.
That's why this weekend is going to be amazing in Pascagoula with the sunshine.
John Garner, another one of my classmates. All right, here we go with the guesses.
Okay.
Will Smith, 2020.
Okay.
Vincent Tucker, 2020.
Okay.
Donna Jackson's on. Sharon Pettiprin, the model, 2020.
Okay.
Randy Scoggins is on. Not a guest yet. Sharon Pettiprin, again, 2020. Tammy Testone, 2020. Okay. Robert Griffiths, 2020. Jimmy Smith, 2020. Chris Davis, the owner of Slice and Dice Barbecue, which you need to go visit in Lottie, Florida, my buddy's restaurant. He says 2016.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, okay. Fish and Nana says 2020.
Okay.
Will Smith says, I need a league this year. Well, hey, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, Sharon Pettiprin wants to definitely know that she wants 2020. She said it 3 times.
3 times. I got it.
Yeah. Edward Pettiprin says, we need to be praying for our Governor DeSantis. He is standing for us, residents of Florida, so pray for him and be prepared to stand with him if needed. Seen a little thing come across my Facebook messenger. Did you, Mike? From Donna Souls about contributing to the Ron DeSantis campaign to have him reelected if he doesn't decide to run for the presidency in 2024, which I've heard from some inside sources that my former boss knew that he may be a candidate for the 2024 presidential race.
But he can still run,
win
governor, and then decide to leave.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Edwin Pettiprin, the model's husband, said 2020. Woodrow Griffiths is on. David Lee's on. David Versace from Van Cleve, Mississippi's on. Byron Bagwell. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, patriots, infidels, and
miscreants.
Miscreants. Yep. And Bobby Gibson's watching from that other state up there, that Alabama Crimson Tide. Do you like the Tide?
Only when it's going out.
That's it. And they hadn't been going out too often.
Yeah.
They've been winning championships after championships.
Listen, let me explain something to you. Hey, You know what Alabama and the coast of the Gold Coast of Tampa Bay have in common? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both dealing with red tide, and they're wishing it was gone.
Gone.
Hey,
there you go.
Did you ever hear about what a family tree looks like in Alabama?
It's the telephone pole.
Telephone.
Yeah, I knew that. Okay, yeah, that's great. Now we ain't got no Alabama listeners now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right. So, anyway, hey, we've run over your comments. I welcome everybody to the show. We've got a great guest coming up in Roger the Tornado Cruz. As Roger comes in, Michael's going to slip out. He's going to do a couple of things for me. Then we're going to bring him back so he can do the final weather, some final comments with us. And then, hey, here we go. So, all right, I'm going to go around the table. Mike, what do you say it is?
It doesn't strike me as 2020, and I'm kind of torn by it. I'm 16, 18. I'll go 18.
Okay.
I'll go 18.
Roger?
2018.
2018. David?
2020.
Okay.
2016.
And I'm going 2016 too. And
I know why
I know why everybody's going 2022, but not yet. All right, everybody's in?
Everybody's in?
Everybody's in?
Yep.
All right. Ready? Drum roll. 1, 2, 3, here we go. And the answer is, and wait for it.
Go Chris Davis!
2016, Chris Davis was the only person that guessed that besides us.
It was the
All right, what gave it away for
the
you?
youth baseball.
That's what gave it away for me too. That was right on time right there.
And I know why everybody was going 2020 because we had a show that we were talking about people donating money
Yes.
to the middle
school
for uniforms.
for gym clothes. Remember that?
Gym clothes. And a lot of us did that. And a lot
Yep.
of our viewers dropped by the middle school and done that as well.
Exactly right.
My granddaughter got involved with that last year.
Yep.
And
Yep,
that was
absolutely.
in my head.
All right. Well, hey, only one person. Hey, that's a great start for him in August.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had some on Tuesday night, but
Yeah,
hey,
we did. We had a lot on
Tuesday night. So, Chris Davis just adds his name to it. So, thank you all for joining us this Friday night, and we'll be right back with our special guest right after this quick commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
All right, back here at On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, right alongside Mr. Mitchell Gunner, the local guru, a.k.a. Kevin Bacon. There he is. And myself, your host, David Rodgers. No Byron Bagwell tonight because he's working. Had a lot of tickets going on, man. Just couldn't.
Well, I'll tell you
mess them.
what.
Yep.
I'm going to kick off my Sunday shoes and
Do Footloose?
Yes.
All right.
Let's do it.
And our senior producer, our only producer, the best producer in the state of Florida, in the southeast region, in the local region, it doesn't matter what region, he is Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David.
Did you call me senior because of my age?
Well, I plead the fifth.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, can I plead the fifth?
Yes, you can take the fifth.
All right, I'll take the fifth on that one. Hey, how about this? Here we go. Joey McClamory. Can't wait to see Roger Cruz. Here he is,
There
ladies
he
and
is.
gentlemen. The myth, the man, the legend himself is sitting right here. Will Smith said, wow, I guess about that 2020. Yes. And Chris
that was
Davis,
a good get me.
it was a good get me.
Yeah.
And Chris Davis said, I should win something. That's if our big he's the only one to get it besides us, which we're not eligible. Don't forget to stick around for our drawing.
I know something that Chris can win.
What's that?
One of his own hamburgers.
Hey, and on that new bun, that garlic bun.
There you go.
Hey, there you go, Chris. You can win yourself one of your very own hamburgers.
You can cook it.
And by the way, hey, yeah, you can cook it too. And also, Chris, you can win yourself a plate of fries and a great big glass of sweet tea
Yeah.
from Slice and Dice Barbecue.
I'm hungry already.
Me too. I wonder if he'll open it up for us after we get done with the show.
Oh.
Ooh, I wonder if he would.
It depends.
I know he's
That's
I know
what I
he's
wonder.
hurt a little bit, But I wonder if Casey or one of them would cook us one of them burgers.
Well, Dave, I think it just depends on how deep your pockets are.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. Joey McClamory, hey, he must love you. Roger is the man. And Sharon Petterpring, say hello to Sharon. She says, hey, Roger.
Hello.
And Chris Dave, let's see, Will Smith said he ain't giving away nothing free. He charges his own self lots of Talking about Chris, he does charge himself. Sounds great. It's the best in Bradford County. Hey, Chris, can we get you to open that up after we get done and cook a couple of hamburgers? Renee Stegall Shaw, I'm telling you, man, me and you going round and round at this dadgum reunion. David's pockets are all sewed up. Renee, I love her, man.
Yeah.
knows you.
Because
Yes,
we're trying
he
to
does.
save money for that trip.
Yeah, Fish and Nana says everyone loves Roger. Tammy Testone says Alvy says hello to you. You know Alvy. Of course you do. Anyway, hey, Roger the Tornado Cruise is on with us. Roger, say hello to everybody before we get started.
Hello. How you doing?
All right, Roger. I tell you what, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Take your time, no rush. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you were born. Are you from here? Did you go to school here? I know you're a big-time Tornado football fan. So tell the fans a little bit about yourself that
Yeah.
don't know you.
My name is Rodgers, Tornado Cruz. I'm from Bradford County. Sorry.
No, you're okay. I just want you to get in a little bit, Dave.
Bradford County. I grew up elementary school, the Sock Elementary, middle school and high school. Not the new Sock Elementary, the old Sock.
The old Stark Elementary. That's right, Roger. Yes. Yeah, because the new elementary was built after you left there,
Yes.
right? Yes, absolutely.
And I played football my senior year at the high school team.
Right.
Yeah, and
When'd you graduate, Roger?
05.
So you was a senior in 05. You played on that team. And
04, 05.
yeah, you actually played in that year. You played what position?
Receiver and fullback.
All right. You got some playing time, didn't you?
Yeah, against Interlaken.
Uh-huh.
Against, I get thrown out against Madison County.
You got thrown out against Madison. What did you do with Madison County?
You played Madison County in the Final Four.
Yeah, the Final Four. Mm-hmm.
The linebacker for Madison County keep on to
Running his mouth.
he push our water back down.
Uh-huh.
2 times I told him, I said, next time that happens, you go through me, right?
Right.
You keep on. Now, you put me out. My coach put me out fullback.
Right.
Told me, well, see the linebacker. I said, yeah, that'd be you, dog, to lay him, well, not want him up, but I mean, let you want it back. Take off.
Right.
I balked him. Right? I let it go. I let him go. Right.
Right.
The ref threw a penalty on me for.
Oh, this penalty?
Wow.
Hey, that penalty came in just in time, didn't it?
You called me for holding 10-yard penalty.
10-yard penalty. Okay.
You moved it back. I do it again.
Uh-huh.
You throw another 2-yard penalty on me for holding. I said,
You got 2 10-yard penalties in a row.
I take my mouthpiece out. What are you talking about? If I'm not holding him like this, the ref said, oh, one more time.
And you're out?
No, one more time I throw another 50-yard penalty. I said, listen, ref, you rob us. You're not from Florida. You from Madison County because people in Madison County pay you to rob us.
Right.
You throw another penalty, 50-yard.
There it is. It's coming. There it is.
Penalty. Okay, I told him I'm not saying nothing. I walked back to the holder, right? The linebacker said something, right? After the game, he shake hand after the game, right?
Right.
I little bit ticked off, right?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
No,
Just a little bit. Not much.
I just think in my head like this. I said, I'm not saying nothing. Us lost, 21-0. Us home. Us go
Right.
home.
You go home. Yeah.
Now, the linebacker for Madison keep on one mouth come push me in the line. I said, you feel like that?
When I was shaking in, he pushed you in the lineup.
I hit like this. He fall down. He come.
Oh God! Well, the game's over. Hey, throw the handcuffs. Hey, throw the handcuffs in. Don't throw that in.
But like he come after me. I take him down to the ground. Me and Wall one up down the field. The police put the whole
the sheriff get you?
No, the whole team fight. Both.
Oh my goodness!
No, me.
Was this the game? Now remind me here. Is this the game that we played at Madison? That we were really into it until the second half, and I did remember that swaying. You know, I know this because remember Kristen was in the band. I don't remember the fight though. Maybe I got the heck out of there before all that mess happened.
You throw big ball at us. You throw big bottles. You throw big cans at us on the field.
Well, we're not taking no garbage from them, are we?
No.
That's a good story, Roger. Anyway, again, Roger graduated from Bradford High School. He does a lot of things in the community, any chance that he gets. But the main thing that Roger loves is sports and football in general, Mitchell.
Yep.
And I can attest to this. Look at here. Bradford Tornado football shirt on. If I told Roger to wear this jersey, he'd put it on right now.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I know Roger loves Tornado sports. Let's check out a couple of comments. And I know you probably got a question for him, Mitchell.
Hey, one thing I'd like to know, how did we all get all in red shirts tonight?
Oh, I don't know. We need know. I don't know. That's great.
Even Dave's got a red
shirt on.
So, as most people know, that at least with the sheriff's office and other agencies around the community, Friday is Wear Red Day because red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed.
Yep.
So we always wear red on Fridays as a way to honor our military, thank them for their service, remember those that are serving overseas and the ones serving here in the country. It's also a great way to support Tornado football coming up here in just a few weeks.
Yes, sir. Coming right up, as a matter of fact. I can't wait for the season to start. Yeah, Shelly was telling me about that because I asked Shelly, why do you always wear red on Friday? And I've remembered that she said that. The school does it. I guess y'all do it. Pretty much everybody does it, right? So, yeah, great cause there. Let's see. Mr. Robert Griffith says, looking great, Mr. Cruz. So Chris Davis says, listen to this. Call Casey, I'm off, but good luck with that since she's been there since 5 a.m. I guess we're getting nothing from Slice and Dice, I guess. You probably forget that. Yeah. Kim Carpenter, she says, hey, Raj. And she loves your hat.
That's one of my teammates.
Yeah, well, say hello to her. Wave to her.
Hey,
Say, hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah. Do you know David Garrett? He says, Roger. Wave to him. There you go, Raj. Hey, do you know Nicole Deaver Gunner?
I saw her at the auction last week.
You saw her at the auction?
She's at the auction tonight.
Yes, she is. Who is that?
Mitchell.
Mitchell's
wife.
Mitchell's wife, okay.
No, he spent too much money on him.
Hey, his wife this week.
He spent too much money.
He said it's your wife this week.
No, I mean,
she's down there spending my money, Roger.
Yeah, watch out.
Hey, David, I gotta go.
No, hang on, man. Give her a couple of more minutes. She's only got a couple of dollars left. Anyway, Will Smith says, Roger, don't take no crap from nobody from Madison County. We're good. We're not either, Will, and we'll get into that. I know that my buddy Michael Heater's looking up our schedule, so we'll be able to talk about that. Mitchell, look at your text, she said.
Oh, my text?
Your text, yeah. Michael Heater's watching.
Yes, I am.
All right, there we go. Hey, Renee Steagall said, David missed the fight because he was at the concession stand. Dag, it busted my shot.
Yep, Roger, she spent some of my money.
Good grief.
But we'll let her.
All right.
Total on it.
Did you hear that one, Michael and David? Oh, yeah. David missed the fight because he was at the concession stand.
Amen.
Yeah, amen to that. Man, they did have some good, what was those corn dogs that they, oh, my God. Well, they were good, so I was at the concession stand. Will Smith said that team had 4 D1 committed players that year. They sure did. And Will, don't forget that we had some players that actually go off and play college football from that 2005 team as well. Do you know who some of them were? Can you name some of them?
LaShawn John paid for FSU.
That's right.
He paid for the
Troy Guyon, yep.
And the Vikings, too.
That's right. So LaTroy Guyon.
The Dan Francis, the kicker.
No, he played in 80.
You talking about Last in the Wheel?
No, but back in 1980. How about Hankerson? The Hankerson boys, wasn't they there? Not that time?
No. just one of them does the tallest.
Yeah.
Latoya,
yeah, went to FSU.
FSU, and
Yeah.
he did drafted by the Vikings and Green Bay.
Yep, play for Green
Yeah,
Bay.
Green Bay, yep.
Defensive end.
And
Yeah.
the Vikings too.
Played some defensive tackle as well.
Yep.
Joey McGlamory, do you know him?
Yeah.
He said, more heart. More heart, Roger. You got heart.
Then Saul.
Lion heart. I'm going to start calling you Lion heart. How about that Lion heart?
Lion.
Lion
Roger the Lionheart Cruise.
Cruz. I like it. Do you like it?
Yeah, but I'm
I know. Don't say.
I support Lionheart Cruise. Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Billy Tyson says, hey, Roger. Kim Carpenter says, more heart. Tell me what more heart means. Everybody's saying it. Tell me what more heart is.
It's more hard is people who could be in the army.
Uh-huh.
You have battle scars.
Battle scars. Okay.
Yeah, the people who could be in the army.
Right.
And it's us, the people with disabilities, people cannot hear in the army.
Right.
The good thing about that team is it's like a family.
Y'all are like a family, right?
You mess with one of them, you have to mess with everybody.
Right. Okay. So it's just like a unity thing.
Yes.
I got you. That's great. You got a question for Roger?
Sure.
Yeah.
Roger, how long have you been doing this Spartan challenges?
My first one I shot February 6th in Water 2019. I meet that team in Water.
Okay. You keep talking, Roger, and I'll hold this up.
And I meet that team in Water, Florida at the OCR Overload. Yeah, I get to know them on Friday nights. My job field them on Friday night before the race.
Right.
I asked Joey. I said, Joey, that's okay for me to set out with you on February 6th. Yeah, I said, come on, brother. Sure, like in Water at the.
Yeah, we're to do the motorbike park
yeah,
and
the
stuff
one, the
up right
motorsports
there.
park.
Yeah, motorsports park there.
It's been raining Saturday. The temperature 46 degrees. You get into the water comes, you come through the mud and everything. Like it's,
How long are those courses?
the 5K,
Okay,
3.5 miles. 5K,
that's correct.
10K is 6.2 miles.
That's correct.
Yeah, and that you meet different people.
Is that what you like about it? Do you like meeting the different people? You've got friends all over now,
I
right?
meet people from on my Facebook page. I got people from North Carolina, South Carolina,
Very nice.
California,
Wow.
Westers.
How about anybody overseas? Do you know anybody overseas, like in Germany or
I
something?
know Lizzie Weber from Canada.
From Canada.
The OCR lady. I meet her at Jacksonville out on the beach.
I like
Do you
that.
know a Lachey Marks? Lachey Marks, he's a Bradford High School graduate. Played football. He graduated probably 95 or 96, and he organized events out west. And he's also an ex-Marine.
Wow. Hey, Roger, ladies and gentlemen, Roger the Tornado Cruz is with us. I want to get into a couple of items, give you a little bit of a break. We got a couple of things coming up. Bradford County sports signups are open until August 28, 2021. T-ball, ages 4 to 6, $75 for registration. Baseball, all ages, $85. And softball, all ages, $85. They've already had an early registration. That discount would have taken $10 off, but you had to do that, Mitchell, before August the 1st. They will host an in-person sign-up day on Saturday, August 28, 2021, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This will be held at the Thomas St. Rhett Building. They are encouraging all applicants to register players online if possible due to the COVID-19 restrictions. Social distancing is recommended. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in this, you can find them on Facebook at BCS 12 12020. That's BCS 12020 or Bradford County Sports at gmail.com. That's Bradford County Sports at gmail.com. Wrestling show coming up. Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling. But before I get to that, Michael Heater has got something that we just found out yesterday. Used to love these guys, part of the Midnight Express. Great guy, I've met him. We've used him on shows before. Michael, tell us who passed away recently.
So for those of you that are fans of old school wrestling, going back to Florida Championship Wrestling down in Tampa with Gordon Soley, and then moving your way into World Championship Wrestling through Turner Network, and that one. Beautiful Bobby Eaton passed away yesterday. Well, actually the day before, late in the evening. I believe he was 62 years old, undisclosed medical condition. However, they, as is always the case with everything that happens,
they're blaming it on COVID.
They're blaming it on COVID. He was, again, part of the tag team of the Midnight Express and had a huge fan following. A lot of the wrestlers, referees, and fans said that he was the easiest, the best one to work with. Took direction so well, was very, very tight on his moves, and always put the health and safety of his opponents first.
Right.
He never was reckless, always took the time to learn, work with his opponents before a match, and never had a crossword to say. The condolences that are pouring in for Bobby Eaton was amazing because, you know, in this day when you see a lot of course, a lot of it is always scripted and you hear certain things that are not like that. But there was never any kind of rivalry with anything with that one. Beautiful Bobby Eaton was an amazing athlete in his own right. And taken too soon. Again, Bobby Eaton passing away at the age of 62.
Wow, I remember some of the tag teams, the matches they had with the Rock and Roll Express. Classics, man. They were all about the same size for the World Championship, the World Tag Team Championships. They fought Harlem Heat. They even fought the Road Warriors. They were mixing up with anybody. So, again, Bobby Eaton, rest in peace, brother. But going on to this, we got Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling. That's Pepper Autistic's group and Ricky Autistic. They will be on September 12, 2021. That is a Sunday. They're calling it Battle of the Saints and Sinners. That's going to be at St. William's Catholic Church. That's 210 Southwest Peach Street, Keystone Heights, Florida. Again, that's Sunday, September the 12th, 4 p.m. Live professional wrestling. Shoot, we may go. We may go check it out.
We may get in the ring.
We may.
We
could. Hey, why don't we bring on the spot and just do an invasion, Dave? Remember how we did with CWA? Mike, what do you think? Let's do it. I bet you Pepper Autistic would go for it and do the invasion. Man, that would be good. They just got us some great idea.
Invasion invaders.
Invaders. Live pro wrestling tickets are $12 for adults. Children 10 and under are $6. Door prizes are going to be available. So is raffle prizes. Food and vendors will be there. It's for autism awareness. A lot of the proceeds, because Ricky is autistic. Sponsored by Murray Ford. They got a nice sponsor. Murray Ford. How about a special guest? Michael, David, Mitchell, and I know you know, Raj. Do you remember WWE superstar Gangrel?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Remember? Yeah, Gangrel. Gangrel's going to make a special appearance.
He led the Brood, if I remember.
Yes, that is correct. Remember, that's exactly right.
Name two others who be in the group.
Two others that's going to be in our group?
No, I mean
In the Brood?
yeah.
In the Brood?
Christian was in it.
Yes, yeah. Kim and Christian really started that off.
Yeah, Edge wasn't.
Yeah, Edge was.
It
was Edge?
Edge was.
No, you know,
Edge and Christian and
Gangrel.
Gangrel.
do not know. Christian tone on Gangrel at the Monday Night Raw, one episode, the bucket of blood on Gangrel. Edge won it. You two split up. Christian
exactly.
and Edge been tag team champs.
Right. Good. Hey, Roger knows all that. I'm telling you guys.
Big wrestling fan.
And AEW, Lila Gray will be there.
Very good.
So, yeah, she'll be there as well. So, wrestling show, everybody's asking, that's in Keystone Heights, Florida, on September the 12th, Sunday, at 4 p.m. And it's called Saints and Sinners Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling. You can look them up on Facebook, Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling, and all their show information will be there for you. What do you have, Mitchell?
Well, the Bradford High School now has a new cross-country coach, Andy Merrill. And guess what he's putting on? On August the 21st at 8 a.m.
Okay.
is going to be alumni. All the cross-country alumni can come back and have a race against the new cross-country runners.
You're going to do it.
I'm actually a little bit out of shape for the first annual one.
Right.
But I'm definitely thinking about trying to get back in shape and probably run the next following year.
That would be awesome.
So I'm really thinking about it because
We're going to film that.
right now, David, if I would run in this, they wouldn't need a stopwatch. They would need a calendar.
Golly! hey, I tell you what you'd run to. What did Michael Heater say? You'd run right to the concession stand, wouldn't you? You pretend like you'd veer off. Hey, give me a corn dog fries. Oh, my God.
Now, if you want to participate, it is a $10 donation to be able to participate. He actually has it on his page. I'm actually going to share it to mine right now. So if you want to go on Facebook and see it, and if you're alumni, you're more than welcome to go out there and do that.
Well, what's the age difference between the alumni and the new?
Well,
Could
you
be
had to be
30
graduated.
yeah.
You could be in your 50s or 60s.
Maybe
And
70s.
It is a 5K race.
And you're competing against.
I'm out.
Yes, the
The
kids.
kids today. Hey, forget that.
And that's what I'm saying. I think I'm a little bit out of the running. I haven't been out of running for a while, so I'm not in that kind of shape anymore.
So we're going
Andy Merrill, Dave, was a really good cross country guy when Autumn was racing as well and running. And I wish Autumn would have stuck with it. As a matter of fact, Autumn Rodgers, my daughter, still got the middle school record for the 5K, I do believe, where she ran it over in off of San Marco when they had that big race there. It was high school night. It was a Christmas run.
Okay.
It was a Christmas run over there.
Okay.
Nice and cool night. And I believe Autumn ran that in 20-something or 18-something. Or something. The record is still there. Autumn would have to tell me what that is, but she's still
3.1 miles.
Yeah. So.
And I tell you, I used to be in good shape and run it. I wasn't the fastest in cross country at all. I mean, I was pretty decent. I could run 5K in around 18:05, 18:06.
Then?
Back then.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about now?
A calendar.
A calendar, man. It might take me a few days. Yeah.
Hey, Dave, we could run it if Michael and Roger would push us in wheelchairs.
Hey,
how about that?
You'll be running on one of those Segways.
I'll start running it.
Yeah, there you go. Tom Bailey says hello. Barry Warren's on. Tyra Gruzinga, am I pronouncing that right? Gruzinga?
That one
She says, one of your teammates. She says, than scars.
More heart than scars.
More heart than scars.
Yep.
And so did Joey McLamory say that too. So did Kim Carpenter too. These are all your buddies and your teammates, right?
Yeah.
Lindsay, Roger just gave you a shout out on air in Florida. That's what Joey said. Of course. Yep. Bonnie Stevens says, hello, Byron. Well, you're having to say it over the air because Byron happens not to be here tonight. We do have Mitchell Gunner, a.k.a. Kevin Bacon. We do have the Dragon Slayer, Michael Heater, on with us. Yeah. And, of course, we got our producer, Dave Hollins, on with us, special guest Roger Cruz. I'm your host, David Rodgers. Glad to have you on a Friday night. Good-looking crowd watching us tonight, brother. I tell you, got a lot of viewers want to hear what Roger's got to say. Edge was in the Brood as well. Yes, he was. Will Smith says, I miss the 80s and 90s wrestling. Yeah, it was the best wrestling. Even going back to the 70s a little bit, Mike, because Ric Flair really started his progression. I watched him in '75 and '76 when he was battling Harley Race. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And even Dusty, all of those guys were battling back then. That was some good wrestling back then. Georgia Championship Wrestling, which Mike says, AKA, became World Championship Wrestling.
What about
Did you
those?
say-
TBS.
Did you say Barry Warren was on?
Yeah.
Oh, did you know
Uh-huh.
that he started the Shop with the Cop?
Yes, he did.
You
Yes,
know
he
how
did.
long ago?
Is this the 12th annual?
I think we're into the 15 or
Okay.
16.
Really? Has it been that?
That long, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say 12 or 13, but it may be longer than that. You may be right. Maybe he'll answer that.
And I'll tell you one thing that we need to do when we get close to that time, when it's time for donations to start coming in for Shop with the Cop, we need to get him on the show. And
yeah.
Well, and again, we're going to have Rick Stevens and Jimmy Smith
Right.
on. They will talk about that. But as that comes
As a
closer,
reminder.
we'll have Barry
bring
Warner
Barry
come on and talk about that for sure.
love to.
Anthony, that was called Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling. Randy Brooks is on. David Barr says, "Hey, Roger was awesome this past weekend," he said. Tell us about it.
I go to
Show us your medals. Tell us all about it, man. Show yourself off.
Yeah.
Saturday. I went up to Asheville. I leave last Friday.
Yep.
Go to Asheville. I do a USANA national event.
Okay. Talk about that there. There you go.
It's Saturday. It's a 10K.
Dave, can you get that a little closer, brother? He's got him on right there, but I was going to.
It's a 10K Saturday. 6
Right.
miles. 6.2 miles.
Right.
Like it's hot.
It's tough.
It's hard. Like the weather get you out of it.
Wow.
I have
It was hot Saturday, wasn't it, Raj?
up there. I had that on
Right.
right up to here and back here.
You were
and
burnt?
right here. Sunburn.
Oh,
On
man.
Saturday you come back. You come back to wine. Do it on Sunday 10K. For the 5K on Saturday.
Right.
Sunday. Not on Sunday. It's on Saturday.
right.
Yes.
And a lot of people, if you're not familiar with the Asheville area, haven't been up there, it is pretty hilly.
Yes, it is.
There is a lot of hills and stuff to run up and down, and it will tucker you.
Yeah, it will. Did you see some of those pictures of Roger as
yeah.
David is going through? Tell me what you're doing right here, Raj. Right here.
Right here. In Jacksonville Beach, the head of battle on the beach.
Battle of the Beach.
And the OCR event. You know, the elite get punched
Right.
out in the open division. I do
Right.
it for fun.
Right.
Like it's that day right here. I climb over the 8-foot carbonet.
Really?
Climb over and yeah.
And on back to the other side?
You do three laps. You must do 3 laps on the beach with everybody.
It's a course, right, Raj?
On last Saturday there, everybody on the beach all the families
Uh-huh.
on the beach that they watch us do the obstacles.
Nice. All
Every
right.
time
Go to the flag, Roger. Can you tell me, one of the viewers, what is the flag about? As Dave Cuscrows. Yeah, what is that about
Mohawk,
there?
that's all.
Is that your team flag?
Yes, and the
Okay.
jersey right here.
And the jersey, right?
That's a Mohawk. Then saws on the back. They said,
Show them that jersey. There you go.
see,
Yeah, and turn it around,
No
Raj.
excuses.
No excuses.
yes, the two thing about sparkling is it's the spark you want our best the sparkling allow us to calm down
Right.
to race because sparkling light us to go there.
Mitchell,
Roger.
I'm wondering how many people were there. Hey, Roger, how many people was there at this event? I know they coming from all over the world. Just a guesstimate. You don't have to give me an exact.
in my division,
Yeah.
it is my the 10K
Yeah.
right here. My time is 1 hour and 24 minutes,
That's not bad. That's pretty good
and
job.
I finished fourth in my division
Fourth.
overall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And
Roger, do you think eventually they may take these Spartan events and actually it may be implemented? You know, we got the Olympics going
Yeah.
on right now. You think that's something that may
Special
become a category for both the Olympics and the Special Olympics?
but you do have one for the Olympics for the not Special Olympics, but the Paralympics.
Mitchell,
Right,
would this be more what Roger was describing? You would know more of this than me. Like the steeplechase? Would this sort of some of this event sort of be like the steeplechase?
What they got going on is a whole lot harder than running a steeplechase
Well-
because I've ran the steeples.
Right.
What they've got going on is
Well, I'm
they
talking
do-
about just the portion of it, like just the way they run.
Well, they have obstacles they got to climb over, like
Yeah.
Roger was talking about using the cargo nets.
Right.
They have to go through mud. They have to jump over barriers,
Right.
and it's pretty strenuous on the body. You got to be in pretty good shape to make it.
Wow.
And do know about it is you have to in the Spartan race in Asheville, you put a weird ball wire across the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You put water on mud. You have to get on your belly. You have to
And crawl up underneath
Crawl
you
that.
have to
Yeah.
climb
Yes.
underneath
It's
it.
almost military.
A
isn't
lot of
it?
obstacle
lot of
courses.
military
And
obstacle courses.
My favorite part is you have the duck wall. Duck.
The duck walk.
No, duck.
Oh.
Wall. You put a wall like you make a big hole, right?
Right.
You fill up with water, right?
Right.
You put a wall, not a big wall, but the rubber wall.
Yeah, it's just like a barrier.
You have to go underneath it. You have to go underneath it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That duck wall, you have to go underneath it. You'd be like, I'd be like Uncle Lupo.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it'd be really exciting to have that as an event in the Olympics.
Well, let me read you a comment right here, and I'll go over. David Barr says hello again, Roger. He said Roger was awesome this past weekend, and that's a great representation, not of only on the spot, but for Bradford County. Roger, we are very proud of you going up there and representing Bradford County like it should be. Hey, with class, being a gentleman, helping people out, and doing your part. Man, we love you.
Later?
I want his autograph later. We did show you that jersey a little bit. David Barr said there was around 3,800 there.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
And
big-
then Joey says 35 to 4,000 on Saturday. So 3,800 they're roughing it about.
Great turnout.
And Joey McGlammer, he answered your question. He said, yes, Spartan is pushing for this to become an Olympic event.
and they should.
And they should
Because
too.
It takes a lot of skill, a lot of training, a lot of hard work, and I would like to see them to have trials for it here in the United States and every other
Yeah.
country, where you have to qualify for almost any other sport.
You know what? I would love for it to be here. We've got a guy right here that plays. Hey, why couldn't we host it here? Hey, Roger, maybe we can talk to David and Joey and them. Say maybe we can host one here.
I know where the perfect place is to host one.
Yeah, boy.
The Firm.
Yes,
Where the farm is.
the
It's out
firm.
there by Keystone Heights Airport.
I'm gonna
That's
tell you
where-
another place too, and I bet we can get clearance because I know Michael Heater's got a couple of contacts there. So do we. I bet you we can get on Camp Blandon to do it too. They've got those obstacle courses. It's almost set up for that anyway. Yeah. So
the big thing about I talked to Joey about maybe
doing it here.
This he said I talked to a lady finish race. Her
Right.
name I talked to her name is Julie Wolf.
Right.
Her do OCR her over her finish race.
Right.
I talked to her about it and I know what to do. told my dad to photo do one in my hometown. Get
Rodgers thinking.
get people to come out there and watch on the
Right.
beach on Jacksonville. Last Saturday, all the team had teals.
Hey, Michael, how about this? David Barr says he is a man amongst men. Talking about him.
There you go.
A man amongst men. Wow.
There you
A
go.
lot of praise, Roger. Sharon Pettifer, the model, says, I would love to see Roger go to the Olympics. So would I. Joey McLamory, military-style obstacles in mud, crawl, run, rope walls. That's why I said blending would be perfect. They've got all that. They're doing all that training. If we can get on.
I'd like to try that.
Yeah, I would too. Boy, I'll probably last about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Joey McLamory said, let's do it. He said,
you see that one?
At Spartan has a world championship with qualifying events, so this is big time. This ain't no small stuff. This is big time.
If you win, if like you do by push session,
Right.
like elite do push, us do open division. I mean like
Right.
us, I know.
Are you going to Phoenix? Are you going to the Phoenix race? That's what David Barr was saying. And the lady's name is Julie White Wolf. But he said something about the Phoenix race. Anthony Black said, awesome job, Roger. Julie, Roger is pushing to bring the Phoenix race, David, OCR, to Florida.
Yeah.
So she's thinking about taking that Phoenix race and bringing it to Florida.
No, I mean,
How about that?
That'd be good for that'd be good for hotels. Make money. That'd do for hotel. Do for restaurant too. You have it in Florida.
Yeah.
Everybody around the
Everybody
world
come. Yeah,
coming down
comes here.
Yeah, to pop up the revenue.
They can stay in Gainesville. We got a few hotels here. They can stay in Gainesville and the outer parts of Orange Park, man, and still get here with no problem. Wow. Hey, you remember Roy Jackson? He used to love your mom. You remember your beautiful mom? Roy Jackson knew your mom, and he knew you when he was a little boy. He says, I'm so proud of him, he said. You remember Roy. Joy McLamory, Zachary Nubbs Pavin.
That one I find. He founded that
Oh,
team.
okay. I gotcha. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Roger the Tornado Cruz, he is our special guest. We're on the spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers. Sitting beside me is co-host Mitchell Gunner. Right over here to my left, researching some stuff for us, is our very own. You know who he is, right? Michael, the Dragon Slayer Heater, our director, and he is watching me like a hawk because he thinks I'm giving you a little pointy thing to see what's coming up, and I wasn't.
That's okay.
That's okay. And then our producer, Dave Holland, is sitting back with us. Do you have a question for Rod? I really want to get into the Tornado football schedule.
How much
and
are
some
the
other-
entry fees?
Oh, great
If someone
question. Great question.
For sparking or for different ways.
Just what you do. Just,
The sparking ways.
yeah.
It's sometimes it's $198, $200 for the $8.
Varies
Yeah.
on where.
Like Joey,
Joey,
my team captain, Spartan did him. I mean, I'm not saying nothing, but
Spartan getting money, donations,
not donate, but free.
entries. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you did free races.
Sure. Okay.
Like
Nothing wrong with that. Sure.
By 2 days, by 2 days, I did the 2 races.
Okay. That's
You
good.
put it's I mean different people.
Well, maybe if I can get in shape for a cross country thing for the next following year, maybe I could do one of their Spartan races.
Hey, that would be awesome.
I
We
think-
could film you guys.
I tell you,
Yeah.
I tell you so funny, Mister. My big thing, I let you know. But if you get on the touch with me, I push you. You not like me. You get down, I did.
Well, wait a minute now. What if Mitchell pushes you?
Hey,
We push each other.
That's
Yeah.
right, to make each other better. How about that?
Yeah.
I imagine Joey and David is probably eating this up right here, right now. Y'all talking about that. Again, Roger the Tornado Cruz, our guest. Hey, want to get into a couple of things. I want to give y'all a goofball question for people that's still on. Heard this little interesting bit. Michael, I know you're a Gator fan. Let's go college. I want to go college first.
Okay.
Gator fan, right? David? Gator fan. Mitchell?
I'm a Gator fan.
Of course you are. Roger?
Florida.
I'm the only Florida State fan here. So I want one of you guys to look up your schedule. Okay? And this goes for anybody else out there that's watching for their favorite team. The goofballs question is 2021 football season, college football season is upcoming. We're about 22 days, 23 days from the official game, which is Virginia Tech and North Carolina. They'll open that up on a Friday night in Blacksburg, Virginia. That place will be going hog crazy. So look up your schedule. I want you to tell me, and y'all join in too, ladies and gentlemen, the most important game of the season to make your season. Give you a chance to look at that. So the question to you guys is, look, if you're a fan of LSU, if you're a fan of Clemson, if you're a fan of Florida State, if you're a fan of Ole Miss, it doesn't matter what college football team. Look at your schedule, and if you've been following, you know, your team and what they've been doing, you should know the answer to this question. The goofball question for tonight is, what is the most important game of the season, according to your schedule, to make your season? Well, we know that Florida's ambition is to get to the college football playoffs, right?
That's right, and they're in their third game. Is going to be the one that.
Okay, well, we'll let you say in a minute because I want to go with everybody. So, if David Garrett, if you're a Hokies fan, tell me which game. Is it that North Carolina game, that first one? I think so. I think that's going to set the tone. North Carolina is going to be good. You have one of our kids up there at North Carolina. His name is?
Dante Balfour.
Dante Balfour, freshman starter probably going to be. And I'll tell you what, we'll see what happens there.
That's so funny.
Just a second. Give me just a second. I know you looked at the schedule. I'm going to go around the table.
I tell you
Okay, go
something
ahead.
about him. The head coach in North Carolina, he played defense. Why?
Yeah.
The head coach take him off defense. He play offense
He's
now.
going both ways right now.
No, not defense no more.
No, he is on defense too. He's
No,
playing some.
no.
He's playing some corner.
The head coach take him.
He did, but you know what he did?
What?
He's seen that he's an athlete, so he
Play
wants him to
both.
both. There you go.
Play both
There you
sides.
go. Wanted to make sure that we got the clearance there both ways. That's right. All right. So anyway, let me see. Joey has come up. So y'all got the goofball question. David Barr said we would love to have you run with us. Talking about you.
Got to get in shape.
Got to get in shape. Joey says it's $49 to $209. It just depends on the race and how far out you purchase the entry. Anthony Black says they can do one in Tallahassee. David Garrett said, sorry, you're committed now. Yeah, you're done. And David Garrett's got Go Hokies there. Yeah, I'd already say, yeah. And Rick Stevens is watching too as well. So anyway, let me go around the table. Roger, starting with you, looking at your schedule to make Florida's season, because I know specifically where Florida wants to go. I think they're college. Mike, you correct me if I'm wrong, y'all guys. I think they're a playoff team or bust. You tell me.
To me, for what Alabama, what happened to them last week in the 7-6 game, that'd be our game. The week 3, we play Alabama at home.
So if you lose, okay, so you're saying that Alabama game is a must. Do you think you need to win it? Or what will happen? Well, you think y'all will have a bad season? You think you'll lose a couple of more games after that?
But right now, in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, Georgia, field, they had the top.
I'm not worried about Alabama so much. I'm worried about Florida.
If Florida lose, Florida out of the playoffs.
Okay, so you don't think, all right, so looking at the rest of their schedule, do you think they're going to lose to somebody else after that?
Florida was in Vandy or LSU at Death Valley.
So you think they could possibly lose to LSU?
At Death
All
Valley.
right, what about Georgia? You think you get Georgia?
Georgia mad about what happened last week.
That's right.
In Jacksonville, Kirby Smart had the team fired up for that.
So you think if they can get past Alabama, they can probably run the table? They can run the schedule?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Alabama's the game for you. Mike?
I understand where Rodgers coming from, and I respectfully will disagree, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
I just don't see, and we may pull it off, and I'm cautiously optimistic about it. But as a realist,
Right.
I think the make or break game for Florida is the following week against Tennessee on September 25th.
Man.
And I will tell you why.
I'm with you.
Alabama is going to put a whooping on Florida. I don't care if you're the die-hardest bleeding orange and blue or whatever like that. You got to give it to Alabama because they're
the standard of college football.
They are the gold standard.
Yeah.
It's how Florida reacts and rebounds and comes back to it. Because when you look at Tennessee on the 25th of September in Florida, then they go to Kentucky in Kentucky on October 2nd, and then they come back home for Vanderbilt. Now, can we beat Kentucky? Yes. Is Kentucky improving? They are. So is Vanderbilt to a point.
They always seem to play you tough, Mike. Those two teams.
They do play you tough, but I don't see it. But I will tell you, from my perspective, you're not going to go undefeated. I don't see Florida really putting a whooping on Alabama, but Tennessee is the make or break game of this season. Because when you look at it, you know, we got Florida Atlantic and South Florida. South Florida may sneak up on us like that sort of thing. I think we have a winning going into Alabama. I'm afraid Alabama is not going to be the way we want it to go. If they rebound and do well against Tennessee, and then they can start running the table. Where I'm confident in is if they get past Tennessee and they get a good run going, we will blister Georgia in Jacksonville.
Amen.
I agree with what you said. I want to see Mitchell's take here. I agree with what you said here. Florida's teams here the last 2 or 3 years, y'all have been elevated. You got a great coach in Dan Mullen. You've got a great staff. You're getting great players. Recruiting is great, and y'all are starting to build that ladder, that tier. Went to the SEC championship game and played Alabama to a 6-point game. Wow. Yep. You know what I mean? Last year. Now, I know that was last year and this year. Y'all lost Kyle Pitts, your quarterback. You lost several players. Alabama has too. Alabama reloads. I think Florida reloads. And I agree with Michael. I want to see what Mitchell says. I think Alabama is still Alabama, and they're the gold standard. And until somebody knocks their britches off, if Miami could do it the first game of the season, forget it. I don't think it's going to happen. But if Miami can beat them, and Alabama has a loss, Mike, that may. They still got to come to Florida.
I agree with you, but I'm telling you, if Miami puts it on them and they lose, Alabama is out for blood. And I can promise you that after the rivalry game in Atlanta last year, that's going to be probably the big ticket game for the entire season. You also have to understand that we're talking about the SEC West. The focus, and while I'm all for focusing on this one, the two toughest games on the season are going to be Alabama, LSU. Now, it's SEC West teams.
Right.
And I think when LSU and Alabama play, the winner goes to Atlanta. Yeah. I think we run the table. We go back to Atlanta. So don't lose focus. Stay on task throughout the season, but be ready, because I think if we can get the upper hand, even if we don't win Alabama, I think if we can get the upper hand on Alabama to a point, and with LSU, we can take the SEC championship in Atlanta.
All right. So you say if they rebound good against Alabama lost, let's put it there. You think they can run the table, or do you see another loss in there somewhere?
It's going to depend on how they handle LSU. Do I think we can run? I'm confident unless they get
Put you 11-1.
Yeah, but here's the concern. I'm concerned about LSU, and I'm concerned about the dog horse. I think Missouri's going to give them a run for the money. You know, we are playing, and we're talking about a Missouri team that I think is going to be a lot tougher than most people give them credit for. I'm concerned. I'm afraid we're going into Atlanta with a 3-loss, but I think that we still play for it and we win the SEC East.
Because of the win over Georgia, because you'll have the tiebreaker over Georgia.
That is correct.
All right. And play probably Bama or LSU.
Bama.
Now, I'm going to give you a sleeper, Mike, as we go around the room. David, Alabama?
Yeah.
Is the game? Yeah, I'll take him. Mitchell?
think it's LSU.
Ah,
I think,
okay.
I think it's going to be a 50-50 toss-up when we play Alabama because of the loss of players on both teams.
Right,
Depends on who done the best recruiting
right.
and how those players are responding during camp. And I'll tell you what, Mullins, he is training the crap out of
Oh,
them.
yeah, y'all got a great
They're
coach.
not inside. They are out there in the hot sun. Most of the time when I drive by there, working, I drive by there, those guys are out there working on the outside field, not on the inside field, which to me, I think that's where they need to be. They need to get that conditioning because we all know that in the South, it doesn't start getting cool until late November.
Late November.
Yeah.
So they need that extra training. But I see them playing a really tight game against Alabama.
Win or loss?
It's a 50-50 toss-up.
Okay.
LSU, the reason why I picked that is because they play in Death Valley.
At Death Valley. Mm-hmm.
And the only concern, like you mentioned Missouri, I don't think Missouri have put a lot of points up on Florida. I'm worried about Missouri's defense against Florida.
That's exactly
how
what
many
I'm saying.
points Florida can put up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, but when it comes to defensive games, guess who you got to rely on? You got to rely on your special teams.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I think
field
you're
goals
spot on
can't
with
be missed. You got to have.
You got to take every point you can get.
And punt returns.
Yeah.
And you got to pin them deep every single time.
And I think what you guys are saying in that whole thing is no turnovers. No turnovers. Play a clean game. No penalties.
And they will have to play a clean game against Alabama.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't mind a couple 5-yard penalties here and there for holding and stuff like that because those little things happen in big games.
Yeah.
Everybody has a tendency of grabbing hold of outside the pads.
That happens.
To just try to protect their guy. And the thing is also with Alabama, how does our players come out of that game, even with a win or a loss? How they come out? How many are injured? Because that's going to be a hard-hitting game.
You're right.
It always is a hard-hitting game.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So Michael likes them. You like them going 11-1. Do you think
I'm going 10-2.
10-2.
10-2.
I'm going 11-1.
You're going 11-1.
Yep.
The loss to LSU, possibly trying to get back, almost get back.
I think they're either possibly they'll lose against LSU or they'll possibly lose against Alabama.
All right. So you 10-2, 11-1. You like them
11,
10-2,
9-2,
9-3.
9-3.
Now you like them 9-3. Okay. Well, I'm not a Gator fan, but you heard the Gator fan speak. Now, what about this dark horse? And they're not really a dark horse because they got you guys last year. And Jimbo Fisher is loaded over there. What about Texas A&M? Everybody is sleeping on Texas A&M. I know they lost that quarterback. They got the Spiller kid back at running back. They've got their defense back at running back. Now, y'all don't play in A&M, do you?
No, we do not.
They don't play A&M. So you don't get the chance to pay them back for that loss out there.
That is correct.
But watch out for Texas A&M in this race in the West. If somehow they can beat LSU and the Mississippi teams, they got to still play Bama. They still got to play LSU. And I tell you, man, he's loaded over there. He's got a great recruiting class that came in.
I think they'll be pretty good on defense.
I think so too. Now I will tell you, you want to talk about sleeper, and I hate to admit this, but you want to know what's going to be probably one of the best games of the entire season?
South Florida.
It's the last game of the season.
Look at it. I'm glad you said that.
I'm coming for blood.
I'm glad you said that.
Hey, buckle up. November 27th is going to be the game.
I hope
and
so.
I don't want you to laugh, but
So-
you got to also watch out for Stanford.
Yeah, Sam.
Yep.
They can be one of those that can pull one out on you.
You're
as well.
right. All right. So Byron Bagwell says, I'll let y'all argue, they're going to lose to Tennessee too. He thinks after the Bama thing, and that's just where you're going.
That's where I was going with this one. I think
Is that at Tennessee or is it here?
it's going to be here.
Okay.
It is here, and
So you got back-to-back home games there, though.
correct. We're in Tampa for South Florida, then we're
Right.
then we're at Ben Hill Griffin for Alabama and for Tennessee. And again, that's what I was saying initially. I'm concerned about the Alabama game. It's how you rebound. If we rebound against Tennessee, I think we can hold our own. If we lose to Alabama and then we try and lose to Tennessee, you can write off the season. I mean, and I only
Josh
because-
Heupel is the new coach there from UCF.
Yep.
Going to run a wide open spread.
He is. That's exactly right.
I think, Mike. Yes, and anybody on any Saturday, anybody can be beaten.
That's true.
I just don't know if Tennessee, at this point, has enough horses
I
to
don't
beat
think
Florida. They're decimated a little bit, you know what I mean, with players transferring, this whole coaching thing, allegations against them. But again, like y'all said, any given Saturday, anybody can be beat. If Florida comes in there licking their wounds from that Alabama game and seems disinterested, I think is what Mike says, to playing them, Tennessee is playing for what? For really just
Pride.
respect.
There's pride and respect.
Pride and respect. And if they can beat the Gators in the swamp, that's
I-
legitimacy.
Hey, and I've been there before, and I've seen
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Manning on the back of the jersey.
Joey McGlamory, I did not know this. I'm going to have to go back and look because I was a big college football fan. He played defensive back for Georgia, 86 through 89. His buddy.
Yeah, he
Played for Georgia, defensive back, 86 to 89.
he-
Huh, we'll have to check that out.
And he's a walk on.
All right. Byron Bible says, bite your tongue. Miami needs to lose every game. Yeah, that's true.
I think Miami's actually
Oregon
going to
up
be
point.
pretty daggum decent this year. I really
Yeah,
do.
I think they're going to give Bama a game. I don't think they beat Bama, but I think
they
give
are
Bama.
slowly.
They're starting to get back to that
slowly
national
building their-
prominence, aren't they?
Yeah, they are building their program pretty well.
All right, Michael, I'll let you or Mitchell, y'all look at Florida State's schedule. First of all, y'all got the toughest schedule in the country according to the rankings. I don't. If y'all run that gauntlet, y'all deserve to be there. I think for us, I think for Florida State, I think with that 3-6 season, you know, we've had 4 and 5s, you know, this and that, losing seasons the last 3 seasons. I think we got the right coach in there, Mitchell. Now, he's starting to bring recruits in there. Next, in the class of 2022, we've got the 4th-ranked class already. We've got a lot of commits, 5 stars, 4 stars. But I think the game, for us, make or break, because Florida State has a tendency, when they lose a game, they go on stretches of losing. They can't get their self back up. You know what I mean? And play as a team. I think that Notre Dame game, that first game of the season, that standalone game, they're the only game of the night. Millions of people is going to be watching that game all over the country, from the West Coast to the East Coast. Your prime time at 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. And Florida State actually played them pretty close in Notre Dame. Even though that score was 42-26, that game was closer than what people thought.
And they're going to have the home field advantage, too.
Yeah, but I think if Florida State loses that game, I think we're back to this, Mike. We're losing again. You know what I mean? And I think it flows down.
So here's my question. This is the question for you,
Okay.
and you yourself, and Bagwell can jump in this as well. The big game, and it's the one I want to see,
Right.
is Saturday, October 9th, when your Florida State Seminoles, no, sir,
No?
they go right on up to North Carolina
Lina.
to take on Balfour and Company in
Yeah.
North Carolina. What do you think about that? And I know that's later in the season,
Yeah.
but North Carolina has been showing some flashes. So has Florida State.
Yeah.
I myself, because of the local interest with Dante, I'm curious about that game. I'd like your take on it. What do you think?
I know.
If you met the tail of the tape.
Okay, so if everything is even killed, let's just say both teams are undefeated or 1 loss.
I say 1 loss. Let's
Yeah.
just go 1 loss.
All right. They've got a proven quarterback in Sam Howell. I don't know who's going to quarterback us. Jordan Travis does a great job. We've got the Mackenzie Milton kid that we picked up at the transfer portal. I think there's some players that we brought in that's going to help us out from previous teams that we've had. That's the legitimate players that come from other Division I schools that I think is going to help solidify offensively and defensively. Our problem, Mike and Mitchell, y'all always have known, has been that offensive line. For the last 7-8 years, our offensive line has sucked. Man, their blocking scheme, you might as well put Swiss cheese out there and run through all those holes, because that's what it reminds me of. But going to that game, let me get back to that game. If both of them have 1 loss, North Carolina remembers what we did to them last year. If you remember, we jumped on them 28-0, and we held on to beat them 35-32 or whatever it was. And they're remembering that. They've got talent, they've got speed, they've got a good quarterback. They lost their 2 running backs, but they've got running backs out the yin yang. Their defense is going to be good. That will be a very close game. I can see if Florida State's playing good that they can pull it out, but probably North Carolina win probably by 6.
Okay. You know who I think is going to be the wild card that could possibly beat y'all and surprise y'all?
Who?
Wake Forest.
But you know what? I'm glad you said that because
I was just going to say, you got that still up?
I was just about to say, Wake Forest. I don't get excited about Florida State football.
Right.
Florida State playing anybody is like 2 donkeys fighting over a turnip. I really couldn't care less.
Golly.
However, this season, I'm looking at the schedule from Syracuse to North Carolina. You got Clemson.
Y'all got a hard schedule.
You got Wolfpack coming in from NC State. You got the Hurricanes. You got Boston College. But I'm telling you, this season, I am excited about FSU football. I really am.
I tell you, Boston College is going to be much improved.
Yes,
we got the last game of the season, which I don't know where we're going to be at. Miami's going to be good. North Carolina State always gives us fits. Clemson is Clemson.
Right.
Probably you could probably go ahead and put an L there. Let's put an L there. Probably.
I think y'all got a better chance of beating them now.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen. They're loaded too. Have you seen that defense? You know that kid that got suspended, the linebacker. He's back for his 6th season. James, what's his name? Dadgummit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The one that
I can't think of his last name.
He's back, along with about 4 other 5th-year seniors across. Man, that's a loss for Florida State. I don't know how bad. We got UMass. That's just garbage. UNC, like you said, is the game. Syracuse, we probably get them. They're all right. Louisville, up on the rise. The Wake Forest team was, they're up on the up and rise. That'll be an interesting game. We got to play them there.
Yeah, and
we got to play them there.
What, Wake Forest, they can turn around and they can surprise you. There's one of those teams that can really bite you in the rear end if you ain't careful.
But I think, do y'all agree? And I want to see what Byron says here, and I'll get to the thing here. If we can't beat Notre Dame at home, prime time, remember what happened to us 2 years ago? Oh, we're hyped up for old Willie Taggart. Here comes Virginia Tech, lost everybody and their mother, and they come in there and beat us 24-3. Really? Prime time? You're the only game on Labor Day, and you let a team that lost almost all their players come in there and wax your tail. That's what I'm worried about, Mitchell. I'm worried about this mentality.
I think they're going to have a little bit more heart with this coach.
Now, Notre Dame's lost a lot, but they'll replenish.
Yeah.
My favorite game, I would see like right now, if Florida go on the field,
Florida State needs to have a good season too. You're ready for. Michael even said it. The Florida State game.
I mean, if Florida go on the field, FSU not Wake, FSU beat us, them not us at the playoffs.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
The thing is, though, if Florida State gets a couple of losses along the way through their season, they're not going to be fired up like they will be for that Florida State game.
Yeah.
They're at home.
So, all right, let's see. Byron says, Renee Stegall-Shaw says, I don't get all this SEC expansion talk. What in the world? It wouldn't be SEC. It'll be half the dang-gum country. Byron says Oklahoma, Texas, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Yes. Let me tell you what football's going to. First, and we ain't got time to talk about all this, and we'll break some of this stuff down. We got what we call, Dave, NIL now. Name, image, and likeness, where college athletes, not only football players, baseball players, if you play water polo, if you play handball, if you play basket weaving, you can you can have the potential to make money if a sponsor is willing to sign you on. So players now can get, it's basically players to be paid. Players is basically what you got. I think that takes the purity out of college football. But let me tell you something right now. What you're going to see is, I think you're fixing to see an expansion for the playoffs from 4 teams to 12 to 16 possibly.
And
that's been in the talk. I would like to see that too. So I think that's coming in the next couple of years.
That means more football for us to watch.
That's correct. I think that's coming in the next couple of years, David. And that's going to bring up what drives TV revenue. TV and stadium revenue drives all this money that these conferences make. But what you're going to see and what they want is super conferences.
Right.
SEC has taken the first step by going to get the two biggest boys left out there in Oklahoma and Texas, which is in the Big 12. Without them two, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to tank. They have no stand there. They have no blue blood. I guess they have no blue blood program. The blue blood program is Oklahoma and Texas. So Oklahoma and Texas now coming to the SEC. Boy, y'all just solidified that right there as probably the strongest conference. Yo, was already there, the strongest conference in the country. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know when this move's going to happen. It could happen next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, whenever it happens. I'm telling you right now, people's got to start making moves. The Pac-12, the Big Ten, I think, solidified itself. The Big Ten draws a lot of money. They're always good at basketball, so basketball makes money. Football, they're pretty solidified. Now, here's the big player in the whole thing, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Why? Notre Dame's independent.
Yes.
They would be foolish, Michael, to join a conference.
I agree.
Because, first of all, they've got all the rights to NBC. NBC televises every one of their games. It doesn't matter what. Notre Dame football every week. They're getting that big revenue. They get to pick and choose their schedule. And if they want to play 3 ACC teams and 2 SEC teams, they can. If they want to play, they are able to make their own schedule. And they can strengthen their schedule by picking their opponents.
Wow.
Right.
And that will solidify them to being in the college
their
football
ranking.
playoffs. And that's exactly right.
That don't sound
Now,
fair.
now the ACC, you remember they were in ACC last year. Remember they played Clemson? They need to, the ACC really needs to try to lock them up. They also need to go try to get West Virginia. Even though West Virginia is not a big name, they play pretty decent football. They play decent basketball, and they play decent baseball. So you would want to try to get them in the ACC as well. But these conferences, weaker conferences, is going to have to make some moves because I'm telling you, football is coming down. Michael, Mitchell, Roger, David, Byron, whoever else is watching, to about 50 teams.
Right.
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a 50-team deal, and if you're at a 12-team playoff, the best 12 teams are going to go for that playoff. Each and every
I
year.
see it shaping up pretty much how the NFL has the NFL lined up with the teams and divisions.
Yep.
I see college football
Yep.
going that route
Yep.
and setting up something just like that.
Already
Where
the
you're
purity.
Division One teams.
Sure.
Now, instead of having 4 in the north, 4 divisions in the north, and 4 in the south. However, the NFL's
Right.
got it.
That's, yeah.
You would
There
have
you-
probably 6 divisions. of
Correct.
teams.
Could be.
So you'll break down all of those, like the SEC, the Big Ten. They would all have their own. That would be their division.
That's correct. Yes.
Those teams would play, and each one of them would send a team to the playoffs after they do their playoffs. And
Right.
that's where you get
So if
all
you
the
let's say if
teams.
you've got 4 super conferences, okay? So
Right.
you have 4 super conferences. Those 4 winners automatically in.
Right. And you
see
have
what
2 wild cards.
And then from each one,
Yeah.
or from wherever, depending
Or
on the
one
rankings.
wild card for each one.
Well, the rankings are going to have a lot to do with it
Right.
too, because the college football playoffs with their rankings
I think the
dictate
rankings
that.
will eventually go away, and they will go off a record,
Well,
just like the
yeah,
NFL
maybe.
does,
But then, how do you distinguish who's number 1, who's number 2? Stats.
by their records.
So if
each
Alabama,
division.
okay, so if Alabama has 11-0 record or 12-0, let's say they played 12 games, and Florida has a 12-0 record, and they didn't play each other, who's ranked number 1? Who's ranked 2? You got to for the playoffs. You got to seed somebody.
What I'm saying, the rankings will go away. You
So-
don't rank. You don't rank NFL
So
football teams.
okay, so if Alabama statistically is better than Florida, why would Alabama have to draw the 3rd team when they should draw the weakest team if they're the number 1 ranked team?
Yes, it would shape up that way.
Okay, so
It
how
should
would
shape up.
right?
They
but
would
how
get
would you do-
They would get one of the wild card teams to play.
Okay, so how would they do that without a ranking or without some kind of something to define that? You see where I'm going?
Just like how the NFL does.
Yeah, okay, they still go.
They just play each other. They play their conference.
Right.
Play people outside their conference.
Yeah, and
They
do
have
the-
a champion from each one of them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if you have two teams, most records, though, generally aren't the same unless it's a wild card. So if you have 4 12-0 teams, who gets that top seed? Who gets that bye? Somebody's going to have to get a bye.
Well, you're just like they do in the NFL. The best top 2 teams.
What if 4 teams
They
is 12-0?
get-
That's what
they
you
get
see
a
where I'm
bye.
going with this?
It may be more than 2 teams get a bye.
Okay, that's what you're saying. You give them all. If you got 4 teams that are 12-0,
You
I
let
just
the
don't know how that
you
would
let
work.
you let the wild cards
Play each other,
play each other off, and then
and then
whoever
they get them, and
wins,
then
they play each other, and then whoever wins out of that, they got that bracket.
okay, and then after that, again,
You go from 6.
right.
Oh,
So
well,
who would be the number 1 seed? You don't know that because you're not putting a ranking there.
You wouldn't have to.
I think you would because if you got 2 teams, let's say you got 2 teams from the same conference that are undefeated.
They would have to play each other.
Okay, there you go. All right,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to
They
hear.
have to play each
Okay,
other.
they were okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
Just like
okay,
in division. I mean,
Yeah, I was like, okay, I was hoping.
yeah, they would have to end up playing each other or knocking each other out.
Right.
Yeah.
Split that tie.
I'm back, Bert. Eddie McGee, junior fullback, can't stop me. SPO. Harry Patel's on. Hello, Harry. Byron Bagwell, I'm assuming talking about Florida goes 8-4 is what he's saying.
I think
Dana
they do a
Bell is
little
watching.
better than that.
I think so too. Michael Box is on. Hello, Mike. Eddie McGee, I live in Tennessee. Ain't no way in hell. Manny never beat Florida. North Carolina is snake bit, Byron said. Donna Souls is watching. Roy Jackson, David, is FSU going to be any good? I think so. I think they're going to be okay. I didn't get a chance to tell my record. I see a couple of losses there, maybe 3. I think Florida State goes 9-3.
I'm 9-3 as well.
9-3. Lost probably to Miami, lost to Clemson, and probably lost to Florida is what I'm looking at. I think we can get the other teams, North Carolina, maybe there's a loss. 8-4, 9-3. I like 9-3. Michael?
I think one of those losses is going to be weight.
They're not going to go undefeated. There's no way.
No.
Oh, you like one loss to be okay.
Yeah, I think Ray Force is going to.
I see any improvement would be great for me.
I'll be honest with you. I see with the kind of parity that Florida State's looking at like there, I'm leaning more towards a 8-4.
Okay, yeah, maybe even a little less. No, 9-3.
No, I don't see 9-3.
Oh, you don't see 9-3. Okay, so 8-4 tops.
Yeah, I
More realistic, 7-5.
no, I think they'll do better than 75. I'm gonna go 8-4.
8-4 with a
might-
bowl game and maybe a win in a bowl game. Maybe
Yes.
9-4, something like that.
9-4 total. They may surprise us and go 9-3, but I'm thinking a 4-loss season would probably be
Roger?
about to go.
Let's just talk about the football season.
Yeah.
FSU go 9-1.
No, we got 12 games. 9-3, 8-4,
8-4.
8-4. All right, David.
9-3.
9-3. Okay.
And I just want to tell you something. You know, we're talking about a while ago about creating divisions and doing what I was talking about doing, because sometimes I don't like the rankings.
Right.
Because sometimes I think some teams get ranked up higher than what they actually should.
Well, and see, that's
when
what.
you go to the playoff, they get blown out by a team that's further down on the charts. and
I.e.,
that's how-
Notre Dame, every time they go to the college football playoffs, they get their ass shellacked. Excuse my French. That's exactly what they get. Right, Mike? Starting into, and I'm not, Notre Dame's a great school, a great football program. Hey, it started with Alabama back in the BCS when I thought Notre Dame was going to give them a good game, and Alabama waxed their yin-yang. I'm telling you. And they've been getting waxed ever since. So, why? I think
don't
what
like
they're
the
saying is
rankings.
about rewarding. Yeah.
I think the
you
rankings
got-
are to be taken away. And
Yeah,
it goes
I
off the
sort of
merit
agree.
wins and losses.
Mitchell, I like what Mitchell said because I watched it
I
live.
didn't know that.
I watched it last week. How Ohio State played 6 games being a conference championship and make the playoffs.
Well, now you got to take last season. I don't know if y'all agree, and we're getting short on time, guys. It's been a great show so far. I'm gonna wrap it up here. It was a COVID season last year. You know, you got to take COVID into play.
Hey,
They're
COVID
different
might-
records, different things. Let's throw that daggum thing out.
COVID might be back in the play again.
It may
this year.
be. I've been by the stadium practice field. FSU looks very good this year, better than last. Linda Jacobs says hello. Hello, everyone. Anthony Black says 10-2 for those mighty Knowles. Didn't get a chance to go over Tornado football schedule, but the cards are out. There's a lot of restaurants right here on the back here where you can get discounts. We'll go over this at a later time. So, man, I tell you what, it's been a great show. It's just wrapping it up big time. Everybody's come in. Roger, I want to thank you for coming on. We love you. We're rooting for you. We hope everything goes well. Hey, keep up this good stuff right here, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Roger the Tornado Cruz. All right, Roger, let Mr. Heater back in, and we're going to go over the weather real quick. What you got, Dave?
Throw it to final comments.
Okay, so a really great show tonight, gentlemen. Thanks for a great program. Stay tuned, folks, because here comes the final comments right after this commercial
Food
break.
and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in beautiful Stark, Florida. Fun Point is an all-in-one arcade and restaurant that is bound to raise your spirits, are sure to please your taste buds, and the games will keep you entertained for hours. Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in Stark. Feel free to give them a call at 904-966-3380. Make a point to visit Fun Point. Tonight's
Really
final
great show
thoughts with
tonight,
David
guys.
Rodgers.
Hey, glad that you can join us back here on the spot with David Rodgers. I want to thank our Roger Tornado Cruz, our guest tonight. Gave us a lot of information, Mike. What he's been doing is really good stuff.
It is, yeah.
We're very proud of him, and hopefully we get a chance to talk to him. Thanks again, Mitchell, for joining in. I liked your input on the college and everything else. David, great show tonight. Michael, you've done a great thing so far tonight as well with everything that you've done. I need to pick a winner.
I was gonna say why don't we? You wanna pick a winner, or you want the forecast first?
Let's do the forecast first.
All right, well, let's take a look at the forecast then. Real quick here, just to give you guys a quick update here. Let's start with the bad news.
Okay.
Let's look at the pollen count, because again, that was the one thing that everyone's been talking about. Pollen. There was a 3 today, and I hate to say it, but look at those arrows, buddy. They are jumping up. You're looking at 7.3, 7.5, almost to 8 as we go through the weekend. It is going to be rough. We're still going to see a chance of showers each and every day. The numbers start to decrease a little bit, hence why the pollen numbers are going up. But that's kind of the bad news. There is some good news, and the good news comes in the regional forecast. And what is that? Pascagoula, Mississippi. Hello,
Hometown.
folks. 88 degrees with beautiful conditions. For those of you guys have seen upwards of 15 inches of rain in some areas over the last few months. Not this weekend. Look at that beautiful sunny skies here. The rain's going to be in Atlanta, headed down to Orlando. 88, 91 degrees. You're going to see some conditions. Unfortunately, it's going to remain itself. Flood watch does remain in effect for the Gulf Coast area, portions of land between, say, Alachua County, headed over to Gilchrist, Levy County, and point southward. You're still under that flood watch because you are going to see more rain this weekend. Better conditions in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you happen to be traveling up towards the north, a little bit of some clouds and a touch of rain in Nashville as well. Let's bring it back into the local forecast, because what it boils down to is decent day tomorrow, but the rain returns with a vengeance on Sunday going into Monday. Scattered afternoon showers and some thunderstorms are possible. Look for highs, luckily, in the upper 80s, not the 90-degree range that we've been talking about. Lows, again, in the lower 70s. Dave?
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Great weather report, guys. Great show tonight. We're going to draw our winner here real quick, and then some final comments for all of us here. Again, thank you. By the way, Renee Stegall-Shaw, I'm going to get you at that dadgum reunion. Me and you going to go round and round. Maybe on the dance floor, maybe at the buffet line. But I'll tell you what, we're going round and round somewhere. Are we ready, Mike?
All right, so
I need it.
So just a reminder here, we took everyone who got in for the month of July, and we've got names. I've got cards all built up like that one. We're going to let the show pony himself just kind of reach in there, just going to feel around, pull the name out of the hat. This is going to be our winner for the $25 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill.
Did you mix them up really good?
I mixed them up a little. You have to kind of stir it around a little bit like that one.
Okay, let me see. Gosh, I can't even. I'm trying not to look here, Mike. Bring him up a little bit.
Bring
him up a little bit. Yeah, we need to mix him
up.
up here.
Okay,
Mix him up here. Yeah, so let's mix him up. Mix him up, Mike. There we go.
Just
Mix
kinda
him
mix
up
it
a little bit.
more.
Let
Yeah,
me
just
mix
kind of
him
hold it
a
up
little
like
bit
that
here.
if you can see it there. You know it's getting close to quitting time, so there you go. Like that. Okay. Who's the winner? There we go. Whoa! Look at the old retiree there.
Robert McGee!
Retired from the city of Stark. He's one of our fans like that one, and it looks like, Robert, you get to enjoy some dinner or whatever you want from the Downtown Grill.
All right. Real quick, Mike. Anything? Final comment.
Final comment.
Anything you want to say?
Listen, let me tell you what. I wanted to two things real quick here. I want to express my appreciation to all the surrounding counties that supported Bradford County for the funeral process today. Also, kudos going out to Governor DeSantis. A number of law enforcement and firefighters, paramedics, first responders received a $1,000 little bonus surplus check. I don't qualify for that anymore because I'm no longer doing anything in public safety to that extent. But kudos to the folks. They deserve it. The deputies, the police officers, the firefighters, the paramedics, they deserve it. So my kudos going out to the governor and the state for supporting public safety and for our first responders.
Hey, I know what you did win, though. You did win to come in at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning and work dispatch.
I will be. I get to celebrate a glorious weekend by working on the radio and answering your 911 calls. I'd prefer if I didn't hear from you, but know safe and secure that if you do need help, I and my partner will be a phone call away.
There you go. Glad to have Roger Tornado Cruz on. David says, hey, well, I'm hungry. Mike Mitchell, what you got, brother?
Hey, just want to remind everybody, hey, we're back to racing out at Gainesville Raceway this Saturday.
Yep.
So if you want to come out, gates open at 2. Hopefully the rain holds off. But
tomorrow looking pretty good. I think you'll be okay tomorrow. It's Sunday and Monday that I think you're going to have a problem.
So hopefully we'll get off. Hey, and Brody?
Yes, Brody Gunner.
He is racing up in Anderson, South Carolina this weekend with the on-the-spot legend car.
Right.
So,
Yes.
we want to wish him good luck. He had some bad luck at the last race. It happens from time to time. Had a real tight car.
Yeah.
And those things happen. So he still finished 12th. So hopefully he'll get back in the groove and get a top 5, top 10.
Who knows? Yeah, that'll be great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, these guys put it in perspective. Miss Byron Bagwell tonight. Again, thank Roger the Tornado Cruz for coming on. We'll get into some more sports. I didn't know this 2 hours went by that quick, Mitchell and Mike. I tell you, it just went rapidly. But I want to leave you with this. We've got a show coming up on Tuesday. Any kind of questions, any kind of topics or anything like that, you can email us at onthespot32091@gmail.com. You can message any of us. Mike, where else can they put that at as well besides the email?
Yeah. Email, you can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up individually or on our Facebook page as well. And you can always check us out. And if you miss something or want to leave comments, don't forget our YouTube channel has our shows.
Yes.
Austin Stevens hooks us up every week with some great rebroadcast on YouTube.
Yeah. I do want to mention one more thing, and I meant to mention this at the beginning of the program. Damian Gunner, Mitchell's son, his grandmother passed away recently. And they've got a GoFundMe page. So anything will be appreciated. I know Mitchell and the family. Oh, Mitchell, I lost it here.
It's okay.
But anyway, anything will be
Appreciated.
appreciated.
Even if you only have $5 will be appreciated.
Yeah.
Going through a lot. The whole family has suffered from COVID. Damien lost his grandmother. His grandfather's in the hospital, still on a vent, and it's been a really hard time. I haven't been able to see my son in a month because he's having to stay there quarantined. Yeah. So can't wait to get him home, and hopefully we get him home right before school starts.
This COVID thing is really getting crazy. I've in the last 4 days lost 2 friends myself from it.
I've known 5 people that have passed. One of those have been vaccinated.
Yeah. And just to bring you guys up to speed, for those that know me and that sort of thing, my son is big in the pharmaceutical world, travels around the country working with hospitals and that sort of thing. He's a tremendous resource. I mean, I always thought that I was kind of smart until I had a son, and now I realize just how dumb I am. But he is brilliant, and one of the things that he pointed out is that the virus, because it attacks the circulatory system, not necessarily the respiratory system, the virus does not react to metal in your bloodstream. So, zinc, chromium, magnesium, iron, these, especially the magnesium and the zinc, these are very critical components for that. So you want to make sure you get, and for anyone that's healthy, make sure you get vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium, and zinc in your system. That is going to go a long way in helping you maintain your overall health, not just to ward off COVID or any other virus, but basically just to help maintain health. And that just comes from somebody who knows what's going on there. So, take care of yourself and each other, as you may have heard, and make sure that you stay on top of your health with good nutrition, exercise, get out in the sun, get the vitamin D, the vitamin C, zinc, magnesium. Those vitamins and minerals is important for a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly right. Renee, she said I better pick the buffet line. That's where you reign at. She knows me already. Pepper Autistic, we talked about the wrestling. You need to go back and watch the show. Yep. And we really made a big plug for you there. Prayers to everybody that's got this COVID. Prayers to everybody that's going through anything. We love all you guys. Hey, if you need any of us, we're just a message away. Like Michael said, you can message us, Gmail, whatever it is. Just hit us up. We'll be right there to help you guys. On behalf of Roger the Tornado Cruz, our guest, the Dragon Slayer Michael Heater, our producer Dave Holland, the missing BB, the Byron Bagwell, Mitchell Gunner, myself, my name is David Rodgers. God bless you guys. Have a great Friday night, a great weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday night.